So after 12 hours on the road, we are 100 miles or so, 189 k's from Brisbane. We've just filled up at the Ballina Service Centre, and we're going to fire this puppy up and get it to its new forever home. Maybe, or we're going to do it up and sell it. We haven't decided.
We're never doing this again. This is my last one.
The last time, you reckon?
Last time.
Your last Renault?
Last time I ever go interstate and drive the car back.
Right. Famous last words.
No.
Alright, so Luke's just arrived back from...
That's the last job.
That's the last interstate trip
from Melbourne.
Renault.
This one is the Canberra delivery, the Canberra Renault.
So Saturday morning, phoned you up and I heard a bit of noise in the background. I said, where are you? You said Brisbane Airport. I said, what are you doing? And you said you were flying down to Canberra to look at a Renault.
With a getting a one-way ticket to Canberra, the nation's capital. The vendor of the car, Billa, picks me up, takes me to a really nice local brewery. We have a feed and a couple of brews. Then we go back to his house and have to try and start it. You've seen that video, we'll show you that bit next, but now I'm going to do the big reveal to Mark. What did I get?
So it's a, what did you say it was? A 225?
It's a Megane Mark II, well, I think they call it Mark II, but it's a 225. So it's the Cup edition or the RS edition. But so it comes with the
But it has a problem. What's the problem? What's the main problem with this car that you've just driven? How many Ks?
French.
It's French.
I think the main problem is the clock spring. I think out of everything it's going to cost me money, the clock spring.
But it's got no clutch. So you just
no clutch.
No clutch. So you just drove it how far?
I just drove it
from Canberra to Brisbane with no clutch.
Yeah, it's got a clutch clamps. You can't disengage it.
Okay.
Which is the concentric slave cylinder. So technically it doesn't have a concentric slave cylinder. Let's see what's
this is it.
Under the bonnet.
This is not a bad looking unit.
It's got a few scratches. It's had an interesting life.
It's got some Go Fast Brembros on it. Yeah, a few scuffs on the... Oh yeah, I remember these ones. It's got the elf sticker. You know it means business.
There we go. Oh, the engine's still there.
See, the scan tool, McDonald's.
Made it home.
You know, it's been a road trip. Jesus, this thing's a bit... it's not exactly concourse under here.
No, that's the new battery old mate had to put in just so we could start it. That's my special modified... Geez, that just made it too. My specially modified fuse delete to get me home. Utilise the 2 washers. I'll be able to retrofit that when I get the 2 new fuses for it. That was the tape that I used to hold the vacuum line from the booster from the main intake over to the EGR. So that's your PCV canister there.
Yeah. So that was leaking.
That was sucking air in. Yeah. No, not when it was boosting, just when it was sucking. So the vacuum line there creates vacuum. Anyway, bottom line is tape that up. This was the other one. This is the EGR purge. So that runs off there. That switch goes down there. I'm pretty sure it's EGR purge. I don't really care. I just fixed it with some race tape and just started driving. So the other problem was I had to put 1.5 litres of water into the radiator, into the filler tank.
Right.
Before I thing it. That was my first biggest fear when I put the 1.5 litres into that.
You thought it might have had a cracked head or something?
I didn't know what it would have. It's a Renault. It could leak anywhere. You know? So I spent the time watching the thing. Because the clutch was leaking, the slave cylinder leaked down onto the road. It dropped the fluid level in the brakes. So the brakes were always telling me, there was always a fault on the dash telling me the brakes were not working, which I should stop. So I had the service light, the stop light, the brake head on there. Anyway, one headlight that decided to intermittently work, another one that just didn't work.
Got the fade job going on these guys as well.
Yeah, they'll need a resto. But I just decided to sleep through the bit I couldn't drive in, so that I didn't hit a roof. So
yeah,
saw a bit of roadkill, a couple of kangaroos down on the road on the next morning, which I was glad it wasn't me.
So what's with that marking T4 on that engine?
Who knows? Good question, Ross.
Not the original motor, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll do an examination. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been swapped. Possibly. we'll check the VIN numbers. I haven't done the rev checks yet, but when I do, I'll double check against the original engine number versus this one. But needless to say, it's got the power. It does have the power.
So what is the spec of this motor?
Well, quoted 165 kilowatts.
It's 2 litre displacement?
Yeah, it's the F4R that you find in your 172s, 182s, 197s. It's got more Varnos or something, and then it's got a turbo strap to it. So it doesn't give you that good sound that you get out of a 172 or a 182.
The induction noise?
No, you don't get the induction noise, you don't get the exhaust noise. So, because look, that size of the
Turbo's
throttle
hiding up under there, is it?
Yeah, that's probably part of the reason this gets cooked to bits.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the size of the throttle body.
Yeah.
Right, on this little turbo version, when you look at the throttle body, it's about double that.
Yeah, on a 172.
On a 172, because it's naturally aspirated versus the forced induction. But brakes are okay. I think the brake pedal went a bit weird when I gave it a few applications.
They're nice rims. What are the 18s?
Yeah, factory 18s.
Yeah.
And they're the nice ones. I like that style.
Seats are very similar to the 172, aren't they?
Yeah, they've trimmed it all in leather, so that's leather.
Yeah.
Like the actual death of a cow was resulted from that.
Yeah, and you got the go fast pedals.
Yeah, and the gear shift's a bit nicer.
Yeah, that's a nice looking cluster.
Yeah, the radio doesn't work.
Yeah, well,
There's
it's
a
a
bit of sun
Renault.
damage here on these strips, but
These seats look like 172 seats.
No, but they're not. They've got more leather and less anthracite. But they do, you're right. And they've got different adjusters. And this one, I need to do something about the foam in that. It's died, needs a foamiology. The back is mint, look at that. No cuts, no tears. Came with 2 sets of floor mats.
Set of Milwaukee tools there.
Yeah.
So tell us about the fixes. So there was no car park fix?
No car park fix, just a garage driveway fix.
Yep.
So tried a couple of options, but hang on, I think I might have somewhere here. I'll show you. Well, let's see if the boot.
So you got these, yeah. You mentioned the rear rotors are drilled out.
Yeah.
That's definitely a go fast mod there. A bit of
Came with
curb rash.
Gave me the parcel shop. So the basic problem was this fuse, which is the main one, and one of the smaller ones had blown. Now it doesn't look blown. I don't know why it's blown. One suggestion is that if you attempt to put a slightly oversized battery in and stretch them or bend them, they will fail. So I did try another battery the guy owned that I tried in there that may have done it. It may have been blown as a result of him constantly jump starting it. I don't know.
So you just wired around that.
All I know is that you can just do a very simple
bypass.
Don't recommend it, because if you've got a real problem in your motor,
yeah,
you could end up burning your car down, and then you just look like a Prius on the side of the road. Burnt out.
Look at the exhaust coming out through the bumper. That's Batman.
Mate, it's all fact, and it hasn't been molested with. You know, originally it started its life in Tasmania. Apparently.
Yeah. Well, it's already challenged enough.
Yeah.
So how's this guy managed to curb every single rim on this car?
I don't know. I think that's why he leaves the brake dust on it, so it doesn't look like such.
That's a machining job. That's for Cam's his lathe. He can
machined ledge.
Yeah. That'll be an episode.
The wipers worked. That was good, and the washers worked. The aircon didn't work, so I need a new xenon for this one. Probably a new xenon for that one. Possibly a ballast, but I've got a couple of spares at home.
Are they? Would they be the same ones that are like from the Merc? I think I've got a couple of old Merc ones.
No, I think they might be the same as the 172s.
Yeah, okay.
Knowing Renault, but I'll have to find out. I'll have to do a bit of checking. So I've got a couple of busted ass. 172.
So once you filled it up with water, didn't use any water on the way home?
I don't know. I didn't check it.
Oil? What was the oil?
Well,
like?
the oil was good and clean, and it being serviced. It still says it's a couple of thousand k's off, so due for a service. So I was happy with the oil. I just wasn't sure. I don't know whether this little bodge up is called. Are they? No,
Parkers.
they could be, or I might have left them on. They're just Parkers. They're just a Parker lamp.
Yeah, how did old mate possibly scratch up?
Oh yeah.
How has that happened?
I don't know.
I
don't know. Maybe someone might be able to chime in and tell us, how do you do this?
Yeah.
How do you do this?
Because that doesn't make any sense. It's not even the most. Well, that kind of does, but on the other side,
And you can't. That's only one way that stretch is.
Yeah, obviously you got tyre poke there, but he's rotated his rims. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how that happens. I think it's touch parking. I think because they've mounted the fog so far out from the front guard, just a lack of perception. That's probably what it is. I don't know. It's interesting though. We won't blame the guy at Woodlock. We blame the guy he bought.
Yeah, that's it. It was like that.
Yeah, it was like that when the third or second or third owner bought it. So I'm apparently the fourth owner now. The first owner was the Tasmanian, second owner was Woodlock, the Tasmanians, moved it to Sydney. The third owner bought it from the guy in Sydney, went to Canberra. The fourth owner bought it from the guy in Canberra and drove it to Queensland.
So what was the worst part of? You said Coffs Harbour was just like a sea of red traffic lights, so you just got to pull it into neutral.
Lock it into neutral, and then
and then you have to actually turn the motor off to get it, put it back in the first and start it.
Like you have to
compression
do that. You have to stop the motor. You have to pop it out of gear, roll up, hit stop, put it into first, put your foot on the clutch, and then when everything looks good, you hit the start button, pull away, and then slowly accelerate. Continue on. So this panel here is another one.
Yeah,
just
that's
the plastic.
baked.
But I'm not sure if this colour's also. I'm going to put it next to the other 172s and see whether it's actually
iceberg silver.
Iceberg silver.
Yeah.
Because I might do a job light, just get everything I own sprayed all in iceberg silver.
That's it.
I'll get all my bumpers done, all my bits of plastic on this. I'll get the bumper done on the race car. I'll get my mates, my other two iceberg driving mates. Not you.
No, I'm. What's my blue? Royal blue, mate.
Yeah,
More about blue.
The other iceberg mates will do a group buy. Someone can mix up a big batch of iceberg silver, spray everything. That's dirty dog. Whoever's done that. That's what's wrong with this country. Anyway. But no car park dings down the doors. Oh, there's a couple. They're not like you get on the 172s.
No, well, yeah, maybe it's different metal. Maybe I don't know.
It's a heavier car.
Heavier car. Is it? Yeah. What's the wheelbase? Is that comparative?
No, it's not. It's very long.
Is it?
That's
Yeah, mate, he's made
to compete against the Barra swaps with this, mate.
Yeah, the Barras.
Oh, yeah?
Good luck with that.
Everyone's got a Barra. Or the 2Js. Me and the 2Js will be up
You
against
and the
2Js and Barras.
2Js, Barras.
With the bloody snail on the back of the 1.2 litre. The multiplication factor is 1.7 times your capacity. So 1.7 times 2 is going to bring me out to a 3 class capacity.
That's the regulations.
Yeah, that's the Australian standard for class capacity increases by 1.7. I think it's FIA as well. I don't know. Don't compete in FIA events, but yeah, 1.7. So that's a class capacity of 3.4.
Yeah.
So it's comparable to your Mustang powered EcoBoost Mustang, mate.
Well, that's just a sad state of affairs.
Only one thing sadder than an EcoBoost Mustang.
Yeah.
It's an EcoBoost Mustang with
4 cylinders.
With Ferrari taillights.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen worse.
No, you can't get worse than that.
Yeah, and the Renault, neighbours Renault.
The neighbours Capture.
They're all about it.
Yeah. They've gone off their beamers. They're into their beamers now.
Seen the light. All right, mate, let's get another beer. All right.
Lock. There you go. Thanks.
All right, so no clutch starting.
Install key.
That's
Light says press clutch and start. Put the window down. Press clutch start. Done. In the car. Belts are on. Least dodgy handbrake. Check.
so. Hang on,
Okay,
you
so
started.
now what you do?
You started in gear, or do you
No,
what?
I've just started in neutral.
So you can actually go from neutral. You just go
No,
to first.
I can, but I'm not going to. See
Right.
how the car moves forward slightly?
Oh yeah.
That's the synchro hubs in gauging.
Right.
But if you do it long enough, you wear your synchros out. So when you wear a synchro out, this is what you're doing basically. So what I'll do now is I'll stop it.
We're in
Put
gear.
on the clutch, I'm in first gear. See you, mate.
No clutch life.
No clutch at all.
Adios amigos.